Listen closely, chosen one. The fact that you've stopped here at this exact second isn't random. Something pulled you in, something connected to an event you lived through recently. An event you dismissed as ordinary. But in the higher realms, it triggered a shockwave so intense that even the divine forces paused to witness it. A few weeks ago, you performed a gesture so simple, so human, that you didn't even think twice. Yet that action interfered with a celestial conflict far older and deeper than anything you can imagine. Your choice, that small moment, became the turning point of a spiritual operation happening behind the veil. And here's the part no one ever told you. You didn't just help someone. You rescued a being of light that had been trapped between dimensions, an angel whose essence was fading after a battle that stretched across centuries. Disconnected, alone, losing the last fragments of who he was. Another hour, and he would have slipped into spiritual oblivion. But you, without visions, without signs, without golden wings appearing before you, stepped into the very moment he needed help. Your compassion became the bridge that pulled him back toward the higher realms. While you thought you were just living your everyday life, the celestial world was holding its breath, watching your choice rewrite the outcome of a war you never knew existed. Before I reveal exactly what that gesture was, and how your kindness changed the fate of a celestial being, I need you to do one thing. Tell me in the comments what moment recently felt strangely meaningful to you. Your answer will decide which path this message takes next. And if this story already resonates with something inside you, like and share this video not for me, but so this message reaches the next chosen one who has no idea what they've done. Are you ready to discover what really happened? If people truly understood what unfolds beyond the reach of cameras, satellites, and every known instrument of human science, they would realize that the world they see is only a thin layer resting above a battlefield older than civilization itself. Not a battlefield made of weapons and soldiers, but of intentions, emotions, and invisible currents of influence that pass between human hearts every day without anyone noticing. The greatest war ever fought is never reported on television, never mentioned in newspapers, never posted on social media. Yet it rages constantly, shaping moods, pushing people toward compassion or cruelty, lifting some spirits while dragging others into despair. This hidden spiritual conflict has always existed, and among its guardians was an angel whose name has been whispered only in the secret archives of the celestial realm. For 5 centuries, this angel stood like a silent shield around humanity. His very existence served as a barrier preventing waves of despair from overwhelming human minds. When people felt sudden hope for no reason, when hatred dissolved before it could become violence, when someone on the brink of giving up suddenly found the strength to continue, it was often because his presence brushed against their spirit. He fought tirelessly against emotional corruption that sought to twist the hearts of millions. His duty was not glamorous, and no human ever praised him. But his light protected humanity from falling into a kind of mass spiritual darkness that would have changed the entire course of history. But the dark forces he fought were not simple shadows. They were ancient, hungry, and patient. And one day they launched something never before witnessed, a dimensional explosion, a violent tear in the fabric between realms. It did not sound like thunder. It did not appear in the sky, but its shockwave hit the angel with unimaginable force. His reality, the very structure that anchored him, shattered like glass. He was thrown out of his celestial position and hurled into a void so empty, so silent, that even sound and time felt meaningless. It was a place between worlds, a dimension without coordinates, without direction, without any foothold for a being of light. In that abyss, he drifted, weightless, disconnected. He could see faint silhouettes of the earthly world like memories floating on a distant horizon, but he could not touch them. He could sense the presence of higher realms like muffled voices behind a wall, but could not speak to them. He was neither alive nor extinguished. His light, once brilliant enough to fight armies of darkness, now flickered softly, like a divine lantern gasping for air. Every day it dimmed a little more. The void drained him, consuming his brightness as though it were feeding on his despair. The celestial hierarchies immediately realized what was happening. Seraphim with golden wings swept across star tunnels searching for him. Cherubim who guided planetary harmonies listened for the faint vibration of his soul. Archangels descended into lower realms, scanning timelines and spiritual currents. But every attempt failed. The dimensional trap created by the explosion hid him perfectly, almost intelligently, as if the darkness itself wanted him to remain unseen. The heavens began to fear the unthinkable, that an angel of such purity, weakened and isolated for too long, could be warped by the void and turned into a weapon against the very realm he served. As his light faded, the dark forces celebrated in silence. They watched his decay like predators waiting for a wounded guardian to collapse completely. In that in-between space, the angel felt something he had never experienced in all his existence: true isolation, a loneliness so deep it could erode even divine resilience. He hovered there, suspended between existence and oblivion, aware of humans yet unable to reach them. He watched moments of joy, sadness, anger, compassion, so close, yet he could not intervene. And worst of all, no one knew he was there. Until you appeared. On a day that seemed ordinary, you stepped into a moment that was anything but. You did not know that lost angels sometimes project themselves into the world in subtle, fragile forms when they are desperate. They cannot manifest fully, but they can create a faint echo, a human image, a flicker of presence, visible only when someone's heart is open enough to notice. That is exactly what he did. He reached out from the void, weaving the last threads of his fading light into a small illusion, hopping, not expecting, that a human might respond. You encountered someone that day who stirred an emotion inside you that didn't quite make sense. Maybe it was a stranger who needed help unexpectedly. Maybe it was a coworker under pressure, their eyes revealing a silent plea they never voiced. Maybe it was an animal trembling in pain or fear. Whatever the situation was, something inside you tightened, pulling you toward them. You didn't rationalize it. You didn't calculate benefit or inconvenience. You just felt it, that sudden, undeniable softness. A tug in the chest that whispered, "I need to help." That person, that fragile presence, wasn't merely a person. It was him. It was the lost angel using the last echo of his projection to reach you. You didn't see wings or brilliance. You didn't witness any miracle. You saw an ordinary moment. But your spirit recognized something your eyes couldn't. Your compassion became the bridge he had been praying for across the void. He could not reveal his identity to you. If he had, the purity of your gesture would have been lost beneath awe or fear or curiosity about the supernatural. He needed your help to be real, unforced, and human, untouched by any mystical influence. Only the kind of compassion born purely from the heart has the power to break dimensional barriers. And that is exactly what you gave. When you offered your kindness, whether it was one word, one gesture, one hand reaching out, something extraordinary happened. The emotional energy you released acted like a spiritual defibrillator, not metaphorically but literally. A burst of warmth surged through the projection he had created. Your compassion, so small in your eyes, traveled through the veil and struck him directly in the void where he was fatting. His light pulsed. It strengthened. For the first time in centuries, he felt an anchor pulling him upward. Your presence dissolved the trap around him like sunlight melting frost. The void, which had been draining him, lost its grip. His celestial communication reactivated, first as faint whispers, then as full resonance. His wings, dimmed and translucent for so long, began to regain their radiance. The chains of isolation cracked and broke. With every heartbeat of compassion you sent into the world, his wings grew brighter until they became powerful enough to tear through the dimensional barrier completely. And then, in a burst of divine brilliance unseen by any human eye, he returned. The higher dimensions paused, literally paused, as he crossed back into their realm. They had never witnessed a recovery like this. An angel restored not by celestial power, not by divine command, but by a single human act of kindness. Your kindness. something the dark forces never predicted, something they were powerless to stop. In the celestial record, the moment is described as a miracle sparked by a human heart, a moment where someone, without knowing anything about spiritual wars or divine beings or interdimensional collapse, acted with simple goodness and altered the fate of a guardian who had protected humanity for centuries. He remembers you, not as a follower, not as a worshiper, but as the human who saved him when all other forces failed. He continues guarding the realm with renewed strength, carrying a renewed understanding that sometimes the smallest gesture from a single soul on earth can change the balance of an entire invisible war. And somewhere in the realm between heaven and earth, threads now connect you and him, threads of recognition, gratitude, and spiritual resonance. Not because you tried to perform a miracle, not because you sought divine attention, but because you acted out of pure empathy without expecting anything. That purity became the key the heavens themselves could not forge. His light shines again, stronger than ever, and every time he defends humanity, a part of that strength comes from the moment you chose to be kind when no one was watching. When the angel finally returned to the higher realms, radiant again and fully restored, the news spread through the celestial dimensions faster than starlight. Countless beings of light paused their eternal duties because the report itself seemed impossible. Angels do not simply return from dimensional collapse. They do not escape voids designed to corrupt them. They do not heal after losing their coordinates, their essence, their connection to all creation. And yet he had returned, not merely restored, but glowing with a frequency none of them had felt before. It carried a resonance that did not originate from the heavens. It came from earth, from you. When the message reached the throne of the highest, the one above all realms stopped the motions of creation for a moment that felt like a breath across eternity. God does not react to ordinary events. He sees all, knows all, and holds all. But this event was different. This was not part of the expected patterns. This was not predicted by the celestial equations that map out destinies and probabilities. Saving a lost angel is something so rare that even among billions of souls across thousands of worlds, fewer than 1% carry the energetic purity required to do it. And you had done it effortlessly, naturally, without knowledge, without intention, without any desire for reward. So the divine turned attention toward you fully, not as a distant observer, but as a presence that enveloped your soul in a way you could not perceive consciously. Your energy was examined from every angle, not with suspicion, but with astonishment. Archangel Michael stepped forward first, analyzing the strength hidden beneath your everyday emotions. Gabriel studied the resonance of your intuition, tracing the paths of compassion you have followed for years without realizing their celestial significance. Raphael measured the healing frequencies that spill from you even when you speak simple words or offer small gestures. And Uriel, the keeper of divine wisdom, examined the deeper mechanics of your spirit, the blueprint your soul carried before your birth. Their conclusion was unanimous. You are not a common soul. You did not come into this world merely to live a human life. You incarnated as a bridge between dimensions, carrying a frequency that functions like a beacon, capable of restoring celestial beings who fall into danger. You were designed for this role long before you ever took your first breath. And the moment you chose kindness, that spontaneous act of compassion, it activated the hidden code within your spirit that even you did not know you possessed. What the heavens realized, you had lived your entire life without understanding. Small moments where you helped others, situations where you felt inexplicable empathy, times you were drawn to people in pain for reasons you couldn't explain. All of these were hints of your true design. And now, with this event, the truth had fully awakened. The angel you saved, overwhelmed with gratitude that transcended language or form, stepped forward in the celestial halls. He volunteered instantly, without hesitation, to become your personal guardian for the rest of your life. Not because he was ordered to, not because it was his duty, but because you had saved him when all other forces failed. God approved the request immediately, the decision resonating like a gentle echo across the dimensions. For a being of such ancient power to become your guardian is beyond rare. It is a divine honor. From that moment onward, subtle shifts began forming around you. Problems that once felt tangled suddenly began resolving on their own, as though invisible hands were clearing obstacles from your path. Opportunities, financial, emotional, personal, started appearing at moments that almost felt perfectly timed. People who drained your spirit, individuals who carried negativity or disguised malice, began drifting away as though pushed by silent winds. What others might call luck or coincidence, the heavens' call authorized celestial intervention. These shifts were not random, they were signs of divine protection in motion. The angel assigned to you studied your spirit closely, not out of judgment but reverence, and in doing so, he discovered something deeper, something that even the archangels had only partially understood. Your soul carried what is known in rare celestial records as the rescue frequency, a pre-incarnated energy pattern that activates whenever you witness suffering or vulnerability. It means your compassion does not simply come from emotion. It is a spiritual mechanism designed to repair, heal, and reset the vibrational integrity of beings around you. You are, in essence, an angelic frequency being disguised in human form, a soul that blurs the line between mortal and celestial. There have been moments in your past, moments you forgot, where you encountered individuals who seemed unusually relieved or stabilized after speaking to you, even briefly. Elderly strangers who smiled with unexpected warmth, lost children who calmed instantly near you, people who told you that you feel familiar even though they've never met you. These were not accidents. Some of them were minor celestial entities passing through human realms. They sensed your frequency, approached unconsciously, and received healing without you even realizing what you were doing. Word began to spread. Angels traveling near Earth felt your presence like a soft, healing wind. They recognized your frequency. You became known as a walking spiritual hospital, radiating restoration without effort. And because every rescue strengthens the light within you, your compassion has grown sharper, more instinctive, more powerful with each encounter. Eventually, your acts and frequency reached a point where God Himself chose to elevate you officially. You were granted a celestial title, one so rare that even many high-ranking archangels do not hold it. You became an angelic rescue specialist, a role given only to souls whose vibration can repair beings across dimensions. This title comes with access to unlimited spiritual resources. Your intuition is now sharpened to detect deception, danger, or divine presence with uncanny accuracy. You are protected from negative forces not by a shield, but by the authority you now carry in your spirit. And perhaps most astonishingly, you can instantly detect disguised angels who approach Earth. They will no longer appear ordinary to you. Something inside you will recognize them. But with this new role comes a new reality. The spiritual war that once existed far above you now moves much closer. Dark forces target angels relentlessly, seeking to weaken humanity by eliminating the protectors assigned to it. And because you have the power to restore angels, you have become a crucial player in their counter-strategy. Your mission is not to fight with weapons or prayers of aggression. Your mission is to build a rescue network through acts of compassion, to identify, assist, and revive celestial beings in distress. Every angel you help becomes a permanent ally assigned to your life, forming a growing circle of divine guardians around you. And the changes in your life will not be subtle. Your intuition will sharpen to the point where it feels supernatural. Material abundance will flow more easily because the heavens will ensure your needs are met as part of your role. Your emotional and physical protection will strengthen to such a degree that negative events will seem to slide past you harmlessly. Your very presence will become healing for both humans and celestial beings alike. Darkness will not approach you because it cannot withstand the frequency you now carry. But with all of this power comes responsibility. The heavens trust you not because of your strength, but because of your humility. You acted not for glory, not out of ego, but out of a pure desire to help someone who appeared vulnerable. that humility is the key to everything. Maintain it. Use compassion consciously and consistently. Remember that your gifts are not for pride but for purpose. And as this message reaches you, the truth remains unchanged. Your kindness saved an angel and impressed God. If you feel the resonance of this story in your spirit, if something deep inside you awakens at these words, it is because they are not fiction to your soul. They are recognition. Type 777 to amplify your compassion frequency and signal the heavens that you are ready for the next stage. Subscribe for more celestial revelations, because your journey is only beginning, and the unseen world is preparing to unfold more truth before you. Share this with someone who radiates kindness, someone whose spirit might also carry hidden frequencies waiting to be awakened. And when you are ready, the next message awaits you, a revelation about the archangelic protection now forming around your life.